Welcome back. This morning, we're turning the spotlight on some new allegations against a Utah mom accused of killing her husband and then writing a grief book about it. Kouri Richins' husband, Eric, died of a fentanyl overdose. And now some brand new court documents reveal that she tried to score fentanyl from multiple people, including her handyman. KSL television reports that the handyman named William Hayden Jeffs was interviewed by police earlier this year and showed them text messages to prove those allegations. Jeffs tragically died in a car accident shortly after he spoke with investigators. Scripps News Salt Lake City reporter Emily Tenser gives us a look back at the timeline of Eric Richins' death and his wife Kouri's arrest.
Before we get into the details of this case, I want to take you back to 2 months before the alleged murder. According to the search warrant, back in January, Kouri Richins logged into Eric's life insurance policy with his business partner and changed it so that she was the only beneficiary. Eric was notified by the insurance company, and he changed his will and life insurance over to his sister. According to the family, he never told Richins that he cut her out of the will. Then on Valentine's Day 2022, Eric told his family Richins brought him a sandwich, and after one bite, he broke into hives and couldn't breathe. The affidavit says that Eric told his family that if anything happened, she was to blame. Then on March 4th, Eric died from an overdose of fentanyl. The medical examiner said the level in his system was approximately 5 times the lethal dosage. A year goes by and Richins publishes Are You With Me?, a children's book about a child grieving the loss of their father. Meanwhile, there's an ongoing estate battle over approximately $3,600,000 between her and Eric's sister. During the investigation, detectives discovered that Richins asked around for fentanyl, specifically, quote, some of the Michael Jackson stuff. She was arrested May 8th and charged with aggravated murder.
All right, now let's do a deep dive with our investigative experts, Sunny Slaughter and Tommy Pope. Tommy, I want to begin with you, tapping into your experience as an investigator. You did a lot of undercover narcotics work when you served with SLED. What do you make of this, her trying to get heroin allegedly from multiple people, including the handyman? What does that tell you about Kouri Richins? Does she sound like a drug user to you?
I think she sounds like a murderer. I think they're on track. I mean, as you saw that timeline break out, I would take that exact timeline into the courtroom in front of a jury. And I think I was thinking kind of as a side issue, it's going to be interesting, according to the state laws, all this money she's made off of her crime. Of course, she's innocent till proven guilty, but it'd be interesting to see if that could be recovered for the family too, because she is quite the character, and I look forward to her sentencing one day.
Right, Tommy. Oh, I'm with you. I agree with everything you said. And everyone, forgive me, I misspoke. I guess I just had some kind of a Freudian slip. I said heroin. Apparently, I meant to say fentanyl. I have a clip from Amy Richins, who is Eric's sister. And we know there is no love lost between Amy and Kouri Richins. Let's take a look at some of what she said about Kouri.
Since Eric's death, we have learned and unfortunately are continually reminded that Kouri is desperate, greedy, and extremely manipulative. We have watched as Kouri has paraded around portraying herself as a widow and victim while trying to profit from the death of my brother.
Sunny Slaughter, let's talk about that. They say money was the motive. The allegation that she's weaponizing these lethal drugs to get this windfall. Does that make sense to you, Sunny?
Absolutely. You know, she is cold, calculating, manipulative, over the money. She asked for the Michael Jackson stuff. She knew exactly what she was doing. We have to remember, she doesn't come from money. She comes from a different type of life. She found Eric. She was able to get him. And the fact that she was so calculating that she contacted so many different people to try to get the Michael Jackson stuff. The fact that she tried multiple times, that she went in and changed the life insurance policy. She is a woman damned to in and of herself, in her actions, in her words, and everything. Like Tommy said, the family needs to get the money and the proceeds from the book. She needs to go to jail for as long as possible because she is a danger to anyone, including her children, because she loves no one except herself, and she loves money. The root of all evil, that's Kouri.
Preach, Sonny. The money motive sure makes sense to you as an investigator. Kouri's story, you know, oh, it's an overdose. Oh, I don't know how it happened. Yeah, I don't know if the jury's going to buy in to any of that with all this evidence. Speaking of Tommy Pope, let me tap into your legal expertise here. So a question that came up as we were talking about this information coming from the handyman, you know, God rest his soul, dies in a car accident, but did provide this information to police ahead of time, showed the text messages, they've got them digitally. We're curious, do you think Kouri Richins' defense team can try to keep this out?
I think there's a good argument because of unavailability of cross-examination. It's going to be interesting. Was it just recorded in an officer's note? Was there a sworn affidavit, you know, when they talked to him? I was thinking the same thing when we were coming on. It's kind of got that law school question part, you know, admissibility and evidence on whether that can come in. You know, likewise, a lot of the statements to the family, you know, at first blush, we hear those statements, you know, she's trying to kill me if something happens. You know, I think there's some hearsay exceptions, but you got to figure out, you know, how is that coming in? But I go back to what Sonny said, starting with the changing insurance, it's almost like she's going to have to testify to explain how that was innocent or, you know, it wasn't nefarious. And I don't think that's going to happen, ultimately, her being able to explain it away. So there's a lot there. But again, it's only as good as what you can get to 12 jurors through the courts and through admissibility.
Right, Tommy. You know, another big question also, how did the fentanyl get into Eric Richins' system, right? We know this is going to be big. We know, according to his family, he was not an illicit drug user. I've got a clip from one of the detectives who testified at a preliminary hearing, and you'll see him acknowledge here that they really don't know how the fentanyl was ingested. Let's take a look.
Can you say with certainty that the pills that Ms. Lauber allegedly gave to Ms. Richins were the pills that were taken by Eric Richins, or the pills that were taken, if any pills were taken, by Eric Richins?
No.
And as you sit here right now, do you have any idea, like actual knowledge, not an idea, let me rephrase that. Do you have any knowledge of how fentanyl got into Mr. Richardson's system?
No.
Mr. Richards' system? I'm sorry,
No.
Okay, Sonny Slaughter, you also do jury consulting work. Curious if you think this is going to be problematic for the jury.
I think it could be because the juries want to connect the dots. They're going to have some answers. They're going to have some questions. And what they don't want to do is have any looming questions where they don't have answers that make sense. So they're going to be looking for this. So as the jury kind of unpacks, the defense counsel is really going to need to have someone paying attention to the physical cues and the nonverbal cues of the jury to see where they might be missing something and swing back around later to ensure that they close those gaps. Somebody's really going to have to be watching body language, when they're taking notes and things like that. It's going to be a critical part because it's close, but not a full slam dunk where there's no reasonable doubt that she could actually be the perpetrator. And I actually hate saying that out loud.
No, and appreciate it, Sonny. So I'm looking ahead to trial, you know, because everybody kind of wonders, how's this going to go? And Tommy, you touched on this a bit. The idea that, do we think we're going to see Kouri Richins testify? Does she seem like the type of defendant to you that's going to want to get up there and try to convince this jury? Tommy, what do you think?
You know, again, we always know it's strategy with counsel. It's them, they get to watch how the case unfolds. I think she will help herself. I think it could make or break with her if she continues to be convincing, because otherwise, I mean, it's kind of like our Smith case where she's pleading and everybody's supportive. I mean, she's been supported with writing this book. She needs to maintain that, because if that breaks down, then she's a betrayer. And then, you know, people have been fooled and they don't take kindly to that. And going back to the evidence, I think admissibility is going to be key. I think the sandwich story, the words he said to his family about concerns about his life, if that comes in, I think that bridges the gap on this second dose of fentanyl and whether or how that may have gotten in his system.
Right. I'm with you, Tommy. I think that context is so key here, right? The jury needs a full picture of what was going on here. And also Eric's statements, right? You know, to your point, Tommy, about what statements are coming in. We have yet to see all the final rulings from the court. But Sonny, as you know, he told his family, if something happens to me, look at Kouri. It was Kouri who did it. I mean, he clearly did not trust his own wife. How much do you think this jury is going to get to hear from Eric, Sonny?
Oh, I think Tommy hit the nail on the head. I think the admissibility is going to really shape the narrative of this case. How much comes in, how much they leave out. If they leave out too much and then she's convicted, then we have some appeal issues. But just talking about the case in and of itself, people are still going to ask, well, if he felt this way, why did he stay? Those are going to be questions that the jury are going to ask themselves. And if he really felt this, why didn't he leave? Why didn't he make other arrangements? So I just think it's going to be interesting to watch.
Right. You're both spot on here. I think in those final pretrial hearings, you're right. It's going to give us the roadmap. It's going to dictate what's coming in, what's staying out, and then we'll have a better idea how this jury will receive it all. Thank you both for your insight and expertise. Always a pleasure. Sonny Slaughter, Tommy Pope, thank you both kindly.